Hello and welcome to this Warcraft replay. This is going to be the first of a best of 3 series here on the map Twisted Meadows. Yes, it's been a week. I do apologize about that. What can you expect? Well, I guess you could expect a lot more dedication from me. I guess I was just a lot lazier than I usually am. I was getting more active and then I stopped. Oh well, hopefully it won't happen too greatly. I keep saying that, but I do really mean it. Although I do have a test coming up very soon, so after that then I would probably guarantee more videos coming out of me. But anyway, Group B has started, or at least on this channel. I mean, WCA China has been completed for ages. It's almost been a month, so it's not like I'm spectacularly on point with these. But whatever it goes, we just go on my pace. So Colorful spawning in as the Purple Night Elf player. I believe this is the first time that I've casted this player on both channels, so yeah, still interested to see what he can do. He is going to be facing off against Fantafiction, spawning in as the Red Undead player in the bottom right. He will be going for Death Knight first. Okay. I did watch this game. Sadly, I watched it to the end. I thought I was recording, but I forgot to press the record button, so yeah. Noob mistake from me. I guess it's just because I've been away for a week, away from casting. So yeah. Warden first for Colorful. So yes, GG from Fanta. The game's over now. No, not really. We have Fanta. He has yet to place down a graveyard, so well, I even guessed it in the previous game. He is going for a ghoul opening here, which is understandable because it's like 60%, 40% maybe on ghoul opening versus Crypt Fiend opening against Night Elf. I guess those are just really abstract numbers, but it's something like that. So let's see how a ghoul opening will do against a warden first for Colorful. I guess the scouting ghoul was also an obvious indicator as well. Let's just say I guessed correctly. Death Coil is going to miss that creepjack. Not something you would like to see from a Death Knight who is doing this rather, you know, weak skeleton harassment start here. Especially against the Warden. Warden is just not very nice when it comes to hero interaction. She also at level 2, so we have yet to see her second ability. Could potentially be Fan of Knives, but since level 1, Fan of Knives is not really that effective or cost efficient. I can't imagine it being used anytime soon. Even in the Ghoul Surround, I would imagine a Blink rather than Fan of Knives. We are going to have ghouls actually long distance creeping here. Not really long distance, but it's basically without the hero. Colorful could maybe go after one of these low hit point ghouls here, since I mean she's all willy-nilly with those Shadow Strikes anyway. Like that one right there. She probably does go for that one. And as far as I remember, Fanta did miss that Death Coil, and yeah, as I was saying in the previous attempt, Fanta may not be seeming on point right now. I mean, he only used one charge of his Necromancy as well. It's not that great. What I was gonna say. Most undead players would love to spam or use the Rod of Necromancy on cooldown because it just maximizes the amount of units that you can have, and it gives you options for what you can do. These skeletons are really good at being annoying against those wisps, scouting, you know, just everything, but Fanta not really using them too much. We also see these ghouls with backpack. I guess Fanta wanted to restock his Rod and Necromancies, you know, time and time again, but since he hasn't used them that much, I don't really see the necessary investment on that one. So yeah, Warden is still you know, around here. She is definitely a painful presence for Fanta. Every time he moves out, he's just denied by that warden and her fellow archers. It's not that ideal for our friend Fanta here. Colorful is going for a tier 2. Normally, huntresses are the following, you know, step for a warden, but since Fanta's been pretty passive, it's very high. It's like it's so smart going to tier 2 already. Plus, Huntress is not really that great against. Well, they're good against ghouls, but they're not really game finishing units there. So yes, might as well just get tier 2 as quickly as possible. Double Ancient of Lore for Colorful. Maybe start tier 3 as well when we have the lumber. I think now he has the lumber. There we go. There we go. Fanta is also going for tier 3. He is going to transition into Crypt Fiend Destroyers as he now places down his Slaughterhouse. His Lich is also on the way as well. So yeah, these ghouls are pretty much dead weight. We might have Frenzy coming out from Fanta anyway, just because he utilized these remaining ghouls. But since we only have like 3, I'm not sure if it is worth having that investment. At least Fanta is hitting those death coils, which, you know, it definitely wasn't a good sign when he kept missing them. He might lose that ghoul, he might not. Yeah, I think... Okay, there we go. He got death coiled. I was actually tracking where the ghoul was. I couldn't see him, and then he apparently was off screen. So yeah, it's ending up being a standard game here on out. I am gonna say, however, oh, what is that sheep doing? It's really confusing me because of that health bar. I was saying in the previous attempt that the warden might not be that great when it comes to undead mid to late game, because destroyers are just, well, they're in the air and the warden can't hit air unless she gets tier 3. She gets the Orb of Venom and all that. Also, if she gets the Avatar of Vengeance at level 6, then I guess destroyers don't really matter too much, because those little spirits are more than enough to deal with those destroyers. Which is actually pretty good, because Night Elves are, I would say they're pretty bad when it comes to dealing with destroyers. Because it's a very rock paper scissors kind of thing here. Like undead have Crypt Fiends and destroyers. Crypt Fiends are usually dealt with by bears, but since the dares are just completely hammered by those destroyers, you gotta deal with those destroyers, and you deal with those destroyers with dryads. But then those dryads are dealt with by Crypt Fiends, so it's like a 4-way loop, which is pretty funny. If those Spirits of Vengeance get in here, then, well, they won't be countered by anything because they are invulnerable. Hilarious field accuracy, so we do have True Shot Aura in the games right now. I'm not sure if Colorful keeps this item. I didn't notice it last game, so it is highly possible that she does sell it. Which she does. I guess she just wanted that extra bit of gold to pick up the Orb of Venom. 1-1 upgrades. No, actually no, not 1-1 upgrades just yet. Colorful is going for +1 armor. And of course, she does go. Colorful does go for +1 attack as well. Level 2 Death Knight and Lich. We also have the level 1 Dark Ranger as well. Devotion Aura has been picked up and it will be sold, and I paid attention to to Fanta a lot more in the previous attempt, and I did notice that he did pick up the Vampiric Aura from this camp and sold it. So yeah, both players selling their aura items. Colorful only got 200-ish gold, and Fanta got about 400, so that's pretty good. Warden picks up Staff of Silence. I'm pretty sure that the Warden doesn't keep this item either. That's pretty sad because the Staff of Silence is really good against the Death Knight, but yeah, I don't remember the Warden keeping it, so it's probably not going to stay there. Interesting Fan of Knives from the Warden. I'm not too sure, but maybe it was a misclick. We have the anti-magic potion as well as a health pot onto that Warden. I was saying, like, is it worth going for a second hero now? Since the Warden does not need experience after level 6, and I mean you can't get experience other than killing your opponent's units as well. So is it worth getting a second hero at this point? Maybe, maybe not. The Warden, I don't know if it's level 1 or level 2 Fan of Knives, but she keeps tossing that out, which is very interesting. I'm surprised that she didn't toss out any of those level 3 Shadow Strikes that she has. In the previous hint, I was speculating whether or not she retrained or not, but yeah, she does toss those Shadow Strikes later on, so I am curious why she just doesn't toss them now. It could be that she's saving mana for the Fan of Knives because it's just so expensive, but I think she would get, you know, great results from Shadow Striking regardless, so yep, just very hesitant, I guess. Only one destroyer in the air. The Warden can attack it thanks to that Orb of Venom. Can she kill it? Probably not, since the Death Knight still has his Death Coil. Alright, there we go with the Shadow Strike and the Dust of Appearance immediately after that Burrow. Very nicely done. We might see the Lich being assassinated there, but Death Coil is going to prolong that. Lich also has his Scroll of Healing if he needs it. Death Knight's currently out of mana, so another Shadow Strike could potentially be devastating. It could either force TP Scroll or maybe a Scroll of Healing, either one of those things there. But the Warden does not press on. So while we're on upgrades on these Bears and Dryads, we are a fairly sizable army for Colorful. In fact, he is 59 over 60. He is wanting to go over that even further. Meanwhile, Fanta has about 53 supply, and not that, you know, not that great because most of them are statues. So we shall see. Fanta also doesn't have that much supply for additional destroyers as well, so he will have to make do with 2. But it seems like Fanta may be on the losing end of this battle. He will be forced to TP Scroll back home. Will he lose any units? I think he only lost maybe 1 Crypt Fiend, but other than that, that's pretty much it. Actually, he might have either lost an Abomination or a Crypt Fiend. Actually, no, he does not lose an Abomination because here we go, we have a second one here. I was trying to remember from my previous attempt, and I do remember the Warden being pretty bold when it came to dealing with these Abominations. We shall see that happening very, very soon. We have a second base coming out for Colorful, like to be expected. Night Elf is like maybe the second most likely race to expand anyway, so yep, there is that. Alright, Warden, Fan of Knives. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a level 2 Fan of Knives there. It is understandable since we don't have any more ghouls. It's very unlikely that the Warden will get surrounded. We actually have a bear being trapped here, which is really disheartening, but I guess all sacrifices must be made, even though that was pretty much a useless sacrifice. Nothing was pretty much gained from that. Alright, Dryads by themselves, not too sure why. I mean, they can deal very well with the destroyers, but it's not just destroyers on Fanta's side. Fanta doesn't really have much going on at his base. No fancy sacrificial pit, boneyard, whatever. He's just going A-bomb fiend / destroyers. Okay. I'm really curious if I actually missed out on the warden being very bold with those A-bombs. Maybe, maybe not. It is daytime, and I do remember that Colorful actually finishes his Wellsprings. That's what it was. I completely forgot what that research was, but I do remember now. Here we go with the warden being very bold here. Could easily be turned around, but it's just not happening. The warden is just pressing on. Maybe able to kill an A-bomb by herself. Death coils are being tossed around, but remember, this is still level 3 Death Knight. That is only a level 2 Death Coil, which is pretty bad when it comes to dealing with a level 5 warden. Definitely a huge weakness on taking 3 heroes while, you know, none of them are particularly strong. Okay, we might see another Phantom Knives there. Yes, we will, but Scrolls of Healing, Death Coils left and right. We do have those destroyers actually ripping through those bears, but it does not look like Colorful is being deterred. In fact, this might actually be the defining fight here. We're level 4 on the Death Knight, level 3 on the Dark Ranger, but who cares? The Avatar of Vengeance is here, and those little spirits will start rising in number, and they will... they're pretty tough to deal with since they are invulnerable. Yeah, I think at this point, Fanta doesn't really have much hope in winning. Even if he kills all of these bears, we still have so many Dryads and little Spirits of Vengeances. I guess that's not really the right plural. Spirits of Vengeance. Yeah, whatever. These little guys. That's pretty much GG. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. I don't know. I think it was really messy, but oh well. I'm not gonna do it a third time. I'll see you guys again next time. Take care.